I'm 33 years old and I don't know and I'm not sure if I can or want to be a mother. This has greatly caused anxious to my parents, and sometimes in social situation it makes me stand out when I hang out with a certain group of people. My friends are also of two camps. Some of them have gone on and have children, and they seem to know it from very early on, and some of them seem to be quite certain that they don't want to have children. And I just wish that I could be like either of these groups where they just seem to know what they want and not finding myself in this odd gray zone where I don't know what to do. So I feel like while I remain unsure, I'm not getting any younger, time is just flying by, and at certain point in time it's going to be too late. I know that I'm not at that state yet. With modern technology, some people can have children when they're 40 years old, but I have definitely passed that best window, and I know that, and I'm also being reminded of that fact by my parents from time to time. Now, when I think about the reasons why I'm still delaying this important phase in a person's life, I could think about several main reasons. The first one being my career. Up until now, I have been a very career focused and driven person. I devote most of my time and energy into my career. And naturally, I just don't find I find myself having to rationalize too much about having children and having a career at the same time. I feel as if a child could just delay and derail all of the career progress that I've built up to this point. You know, I feel that I'm going the right way, and I don't know if taking a year off and easing into work after is the best solution to reach the top of the career ladder as I've always wanted to. So I feel like if I decide to bring a child into this world, um, and if my career doesn't go the way that I want it to, I may end up resenting my own child, and really that's definitely not a good place to be. My partner and I also bought a small apartment that I've been filming in just last year. We worked very hard towards this milestone. We saved a lot over a very long period of time. We are in Vancouver, where the housing prices and affordability is probably one of the worst in Canada and in North America. So we bought a small place. It's a one bedroom apartment, and it's definitely not big enough to raise a child or two children. But the fact is, we just committed to it last year, and we have only just enjoyed this house ownership journey. It means we are in a way indirectly committed ourselves to not having children. So I feel that it would be a waste of it will be a great waste of time and energy to upend ourselves again after we've worked so hard to get to where we are with this home, just so that we can anticipate having children one day. And third, we are fortunate to be living in a rather and comfortable lifestyle at this point in time with our jobs, our income. our social group, I've I've alluded to it in my last video when I talk about the ugly middle when it comes to personal finances. But we are finally at the stage where we don't really have to worry about any unexpected life events that could derail us financially, and we can enjoy ourselves as much as we can going on holiday once every month over the long weekend, without having to think much about it. We can afford to go out to eat every week. We don't really have to look at a grocery price when we go for our weekly shop. And these are the things that we both have worked very hard for. All of this will surely disappear in an instant if we decide to bring a child into our lives with all of the expenses, cost of living, putting money aside for their education, all that sort of stuff. And all of that is just to say, I'm not sure if I could give up all of what I have been working so hard for yet. I feel that I deserve to enjoy the fruit of my labors for a little bit longer. Having said all of that, at the back of my head, I'm also wondering whether I will regret this 10 years from now if I decide that being child free is the way to go for me and for my partner. I know that I'm not feeling it yet because I'm in the golden decade of my life where my social group is active, I'm healthy, I'm young, I'm making decent money, and I can enjoy, and I can afford to enjoy life while I can with all of the resources available to me. But I'm going to get old. I'm going to be 40, 50, 60, 70. And at that third and fourth quarter of life, I see that most people look towards something else, something higher, something more intangible to sustain life. And a lot of that is in their children, in taking care of their children, or possibly grandchildren at that point, seeing them grow up, having an input in their early life, in their education. I may not have any of that when I get older. And, at some point in time, I probably will become a widow, you know, as much as I like to live long and forever and spend as much as I can with my partner. At some point, death will do us part, and I may be left alone at that point with nothing else to do, nothing else to live for. What will life be at that time? Will it just be an empty, an empty black hole, meaningless, with nothing else to do, nothing else to live for? I don't know, but these dark thoughts have certainly cast a doubt into my plan, into my plan to be child free. So all of this is to say, I really don't know. I just feel like I'm at a crossroad at the moment, as with a lot of other things. I don't know. I don't know what to do. This is one of those decisions that once it's made, it cannot be unmade. And once a child is brought into life, it would be my responsibility to devote as much energy, resource, time and effort as I can to give him or her the best chance to succeed in life. So yes, I don't know. What I do know at this moment is I'm not ready to be a mother. I don't know if I will ever be ready, or if anyone is ever 100% ready when they become a parent. I don't know. But at this very moment, I know that it would be unfair, and it would be unfair for me to become a parent because I don't feel like I'm in that headspace yet. And I don't need anyone to tell me that it would be much better to be child free than to be a regretful and resentful parent. And maybe that is what I will have to content myself with for now. If you're still here, thank you for listening. I feel like I'm having a friend to talk to just by doing this, and your time and attention means a lot to me. Thanks very much, and I hope to see you again very soon.